Bias is so destructive in a justice system.
Chairman Goodlatte, this is what I hear on email, on Twitter, on Facebook. They hear us reporting on these 568 pages. They've been waiting for months and months and months. And they hear what is coming out of it. Who is going to pay for something that was done wrong in their mind? And investigation after investigation, it seems like it comes to a head and then nothing happens.
Absolutely. Hundreds of classified emails were handled improperly in violation of the law, and no one has been held accountable in that regard. Now we see that that whole process of that investigation was handled with extreme bias and a whole host of questionable actions, and people need to be held accountable. Some of those people are no longer employed at the Federal Bureau of Investigation and the Department of Justice. That's a good thing. But we're going to continue to follow through until we're sure that changes have been made so that these things can't occur in the future, and we don't have a 2020 that looks anything at all like 2016 in terms of this kind of mishandling of investigations of the highest level of importance when you're talking about the two candidates for President of the United States. So Trey and I are going to have a joint hearing next Tuesday where we'll have the Inspector General. We'll be able to go into this 560-page report and ask manifold questions. And then the following week, we have already requested the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, Mr. Rosenstein, and the FBI Director, Christopher Wray, to come forward and talk to us and answer our questions based upon that report.
All right, other quick nuggets here. In this IG report, it says definitively that Hillary Clinton's emails were hacked by foreign actors of some kind.
Let me tell you why that's so important, because when they're listening...
Despite all the denials, I mean, we went through all of these stages that it wasn't happening.
Well, but we got a little window into that when Jim Comey, one of Jim Comey's original memo drafts had that language in there, and it was edited out. Let me tell you why it's important. There are two reasons they cite for not prosecuting Hillary Clinton. Number one, that she didn't have specific general intent, and number two, she didn't expose it to foreign actors. We now know one of those reasons is bogus. And had they done a good job of interviewing her, had they not made up their mind 6 weeks before they went to interview her, perhaps they could have found evidence of an intent to commit a crime. But they didn't look for it. They made up their mind before they ever interviewed her. But that is really important that Horowitz and others, some of our colleagues, had unlocked the fact that those emails were exposed to foreign actors.
Most of the rank and file FBI agents thought if I did this, I'd be prosecuted. That's in the IG report.
Absolutely. And we found other precedents where people were prosecuted for similar actions, contrary to what the FBI director concluded.
The Weiner investigation case was slow-walked.
No question, because Peter Strzok was so obsessed with Donald Trump in the fall of 2016 that he sat on emails, and by the time Comey got to him and sent the letter, we were on the eve of an election. But in September, when they learned about this, he did nothing because he was hyper-focused on Trump.
And if I were a Democrat or an independent or any American, I'd be concerned about how Director Comey handled that aspect of it, which is also criticized by the Inspector General. Why would you handle the way you released that information days before?
Let me play that. This is SOP 1 from Jim Comey. Weeks went by without any action.
I do know that New York and FBI headquarters became aware that there may be some connection between Weiner's laptop and the Clinton investigation weeks before it was brought to me for decision. I don't know whether they could have moved faster and why the delay.
So was it the threat that the New York agents were going to leak, that it existed, really what drove you to the not conceal part?
I don't know why there was, if there was slow activity, why it was slow for those first couple of weeks.
There's at least one agent who says that he knows that they wouldn't be prosecuted anyway.
Well, a couple of points on what Director Comey said. He uses the word index. He didn't properly index the fact that Huma Abedin was married to Anthony Weiner. He may be the only person in the Western Hemisphere that did not know they were married. That's one of his excuses. It took a prosecutor or an agent from the Southern District of New York calling to Washington, specifically saying, what in the hell are you doing and what is taking so long? That's what finally got him to move. McCabe wasn't moving and Strzok wasn't moving.
Some of Strzok and Page's text messages may still be missing. IG says that.
We keep looking for them. He's actually done a good job. He's the one who found the first big batch of missing text messages and made those available back to the department, which then made them available to us. But yes, I think we've actually benefited in a multitude of ways from this investigation. It's filled in pieces of the puzzle, but it's also resulted in more information coming to us just in the last few days and weeks.
All right, wrap
Funny
this
thing
up.
about that.
Winner and loser in this IG report, in your mind?
Well, unfortunately, I think that Trey is right, that the Federal Bureau of Investigation as a whole is a loser, and I hope that Christopher Wray is taking his sobering lesson to heart, that he can do great things to restore the public's trust in this very important organization, which we all should trust, and I think 99% of the time we should, absolutely.
The winner is Michael Horowitz because he proves that you can be fair, fact-centric, and conduct a serious investigation. The loser is every one of my fellow citizens who wants an FBI and a Department of Justice that they can believe in. All of us have lost when we have a department and a bureau that we cannot have confidence in.
Chairman Gowdy, Chairman Goodlatte, we appreciate your time, and we'll continue to follow up.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.